Thank you for joining me for another episode of All Our Wheels series, What Will Replace the MG4? I mean, it needs a bit more of a catchy title than that, doesn't it? But anyway, today we have got in for consideration this rather handsome Škoda Elroq. Okay, let me tell you about the Škoda Elroq. It is based on VW's MEB platform, which means it has brothers and sisters such as the Audi Q4, the Seat Cooper Born, VW's ID3 and ID4, and of course its bigger brother, the Škoda Enyaq. Now, this is the Elroq 85, and there is a number of Elroqs in the range, and they all have numbers which you'd think signify the batteries, but it's not quite as simple as that. A bit like Audi and their numbers as well. So we have the entry level, which is the Elroq 50, which features a 55 kilowatt hour battery. A 52 is usable. The 60, that's got a 63 kilowatt hour battery. 59 is usable, so closer to the 60, and this one, the 85, which boasts a 82 kilowatt hour battery, 77 kilowatts is usable. Now, the 85 that we have on test today has a claim range of 360 miles, so that should help with any range anxiety. And actually, I don't think we should call it range anxiety anymore, because it's not about the range, it's really anxiety about will you be able to charge and how fast can you charge. So maybe we should start calling it charge anxiety, right? Because 360 miles, you're going to be traveling quite a long way before you're going to need to stop. In terms of pricing, well, there's a number of different trims. So we start with the SE, which starts at £31,510. The SEL, which adds the bigger battery, the heated front seats, satellite navigation, and dual zone climate control. So I think that's the one that a lot of people will go for. That's £33,360,000. This trim level that we've got on test today is the Edition, and that starts at £34,460 for the Elroq 60, but in the 85 that's up to £38,000, and that features these really nice, actually 19-inch alloy wheels, but they've got a 55-inch profile tyre, so they're nice and squidgy, and the ride is really good because of that. What else have we got? We've got keyless entry and wireless charging. Then there's the Sport line, that with this, again, the smaller battery, that's at £37,400. That comes with 20-inch alloy wheels. And then we've got the VRS, which again is like the top tier sport model, and that's from £46,500 and £60,000. So that knocks you into the luxury car tax. So yeah, the Edition and the SEL are all well under £40,000. So really good on the old company lease schemes. Let's talk about some of the exterior styling. It's got that very much VW group design language about it. I mean, this bit could be taken straight out of the VW Tiguan. We've got this crease here, this high shoulder line. We see that in Audi quite a lot. This trim here, that is very Škoda. We see that on a number of the Škoda models as well. But overall, it does have that VW group look about it. At the front though, we've got these very narrow angular day running lights, and then we've got the headlights actually down here. The front end, there's no longer the grille that used to be on the Enyaq and the previous model. This has all been smoothed off. We've got a camera in here now and a number of different sensors for the radars and things like that. We've got this opening here so that the air can be channeled round and through. I don't think it's to cool the brakes. I think it's more about making this as smooth and as aerodynamically efficient as possible. But overall, it does look quite a handsome car. Let's have a look around the rear. Coming round to the rear, and we have this very big spoiler, very similar to the Kia EV3. And I think that's a byproduct of designers and engineers chasing greater aerodynamic efficiency. Now, this spoiler, it doesn't affect the rear screen quite as much. We've still got quite a big opening. We've got the Škoda proudly emblazoned on the back here, and these angular sharp lights, rear lights, that look great. Now this one, being an edition model, comes with the virtual pedal. Let's see if the boot will open. There she goes. So it's a powered boot, and then inside we get into the boot. In terms of boot space, it feels closer inside to the MG rather than the Kia EV3. And maybe that's because it's a bit darker in here, whereas the Kia was a lighter grey, so it looked more open. Also, there's a lot of things going on. This car is packed with Škoda's Simply Clever storage features, a lot of which are options. For example, this hammock, which I guess is quite useful for putting a few things that won't fly around and rattle all over the boot. So we can drop that over here and get that out the way. I think that's how you do that. The parcel shelf, that can be set so that it's on a lower level as well. We've got some hooks here for your bags. They're quite handy, one either side. A little bit of a storage shelf unit in here. A little more bit of storage with a band, stop stuff flying around. This car has got the luggage netting system, which could be fitted as well. That's in there. I think that's all part of an option pack. It has this removable protective mat. Now, something this car doesn't have, which the Kia did have, was a floating floor. So this is the floor. Again, it's a very flat floor, very flush with the boot lid. And we've got space here for our charging cables. We then do have some space underneath here. Again, you can put your charging cables, you know, small, not very deep boxes. You can store stuff under here. It also comes with these, which are really clever. Put that back. So what you can do is you can, so if you've got a box or something that you don't want running around, then they can anchor and wedge in your little box that you might be transporting. Put them back. Put under there, just out the way. Right, but how does it compare with our Bag for Life challenge? No, don't close. Okay, I didn't ask the boot to close then, but let's try and open it. Virtual pedal. There she goes. No touch if I had my hands full. It is quite a useful feature once you get used to it. So there's the bag number one. Number two. And bag number three. And again, they are quite high up against the parcel shelf. So if you do have a loaf of bread or something sticking out at the top of your shopping bags, well, that might be a problem. Another clever bit of storage is this underneath the parcel shelf. This netting here, it's sort of elasticated, it feels very strong. It says max 3 kilograms in there. I'm not quite sure what it would store in it, but I suppose it keeps your boot floor from getting cluttered. Right, should we have a look inside? Right, on the inside we have a smaller 5-inch driver's display, sort of all the good information that you need, such as speed, range, how far you've traveled. And then we have this 13-inch touchscreen with satellite navigation. This is all standard. It also has CarPlay and your climate controls on here, so we can bring them up. There you go, your climate. I like this sort of, I want fresh air, I want warm feet or warm hands, and it's just sort of presets that are already loaded in, so you don't have to work it all out. A nice feature is just below, we've got the volume control. I like that. Yeah, sort of slider, as it were. We can just tap each end to go up, or the other end to go down, but I do like the slide feature. We do have some physical buttons. We've got some drive assist modes. We've got the lane change mode, self park. That is actually a remote train parking, and that is part of the Max package. We have the hazard warning, the lock, the climate, brings the climate back up. We have front heated screen because we have got the winter pack on this car, so we've got a heated windscreen, and we've got heated rear seats as part of that pack, and then we've got a heated rear screen. We've got some storage. This car, being the Edition, does have wireless charging here. We've got some cup holders with a bit of removable dividers. Nice tray. You probably put your phone in the wireless charging, so that's just a nice tray. This is the drive select. So drive you push back, and reverse you push forward. Now that is a bit about face for me, to be fair. So that's your drive select, your electric parking brake. We've got another cubby in between the seats, bit of storage, again part of the clever design, and then even another little storage box, maybe for sunglasses and things, stop them from getting scraped and damaged. So that's all in there. Fits all very nicely. Now, one thing that I think really stands out in this car is this lovely imitation leather. What do they call it? They call it artificial leather. Apologies. With orange seatbelt and stitching. To me, it looks more red than orange, it has to be said, but it does look very sporty, and this is part of the Lodge trim, which has a cost, and that is Lodge interior design selection, £600. But it is very nice, and these surfaces are really nice to touch. Another thing to note is that Škoda have a virtual assistant called Laura, and we can activate that by saying, "Okay, Laura, set the front seat heating on."
I've switched on the seat heating at the front.
So there you go. So you can do useful things like that while you're driving along. I'm going to turn them off because otherwise I'll get a toasty bottom while I'm talking to you. Now, the steering wheel. This is a rather lovely sporty steering wheel, perforated. Again, it won't be leather, artificial leather wheel with some physical buttons on it. 3-spoke. Normally it's a 2-spoke one comes as standard, but this one is part of the driver's pack, which comes with dynamic chassis control and a 3-spoke sport steering wheel, and that pack is another £650, but the wheel is really nice. We've got some actual physical buttons on a VW product. Hurrah! I know a lot of people complained heavily about the virtual touch buttons on the steering wheel, but they have now been replaced with physical buttons. So you've got some this side and then this side as well. There you go. And behind the wheel we actually have some paddles. We've got a plus one and a minus, and they are to control the actual regen. And again, a bit like the drive select mode, I think it's all a bit about face. We've got minus actually increases the amount of regen and plus decreases the regen. So that's a bit confusing. Now I don't know if you can see it, possibly not, but this car also has a head-up display, which is part of the Max package. So we've got full LED headlights, rear LED headlights, the electrically operated tailgate, which has tried to eat me a few times, head-up display, the Canon sound system, there she is, a little badge there, and lots of other bits as well, the boot nets, the cable bag, the variable boot floor. They were all part of this Max package, which includes rear park assist, rear park trained parking and tri-zone climate control. But anyway, let's have a look in the rear. When it comes to space in the rear, well, once again, I've set the driver's seat as I would have it for when I'm driving, and I've got to say I'm very comfortable back here. There's plenty of knee room for me. My feet fit under the seats nicely. I've got plenty of headroom, and actually, while it isn't as open as airy as the EV3 was, this lighter leather does help the cabin quite a lot. There's touches of grey leather going on the doors, on these seats, and that does open it up a bit more. We do have, because of part of the winter pack, we do have heated rear seats. We have rear climate control as well. As part of the Max package, we've got these blinds integrated into the doors, these lovely reds. I think they're red and they say they're orange seat belts as part of the Lodge pack, and really it is just a really nice place to be. Across the floor in the back we've got this cubby storage, again, stuff sliding around all over the place. We've got some USB-C chargers, and in the doors we've got plenty enough space to be able to fit bottles and get them in and out as well. That's really good. And then we do have the central armrest as well, which again has some cup holders. One last thing to mention before we go for a drive is that unlike the EV3 we've previously tested, there is no storage space under the bonnet, just this plastic bracing, which as you can see gets absolutely covered in dirt from the road. So what's it like to drive? Well, I have to say it's all really rather grown up in here. It rides really smooth, there's very little knocks and bangs, and I think that's partly due to the big squidgy 55-inch profile tyres, so they really do help. You don't get as many of the bings and the bongs like you do in the EV3. When you do go over the speed limit, there's a little tone, it just gives you a little warning rather than shout at you, stop it, slow down, which is, you know, really appreciated. Out on the dual carriageway, it just settles in beautifully, quiet, stable and effortless. You get a sense of calm you only find in really well sorted EVs. It doesn't fidget or wander, it just flows, soaking up the miles with almost no wind or road noise. And when you peel off onto the country roads, it keeps that same composure. The steering's precise and nicely weighted, and there's a reassuring balance through the bends. It feels planted but never harsh. You can tell a lot of thought's gone into the chassis and suspension tuning. It's not chasing performance figures or gimmicks, it's just doing everything really well. Comfortable, refined, confident, exactly what you'd hope for a car wearing the Škoda badge. And so, in summary, I really do think this is a real strong contender in our race to replace the MG4. It's a really well put together car, it's solidly engineered, and that range is fantastic. If you've enjoyed this content and maybe you're thinking about a new EV company car, please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.